This is Terry Kurtz online reporting on Victor Valley, High Desert, and Mojave River Valley events, activities, entertainment, sports, and history. Timely alerts regarding pedestrians, driving under the influence, and St. Patrick's Day open this newscast. Pedestrians, beware! Our high desert is among the most dangerous places in the nation when it comes to persons killed while walking on a public road or street. A 2023 study reported that Victorville is the second deadliest city in America for pedestrians. A 34-year-old pedestrian fatality occurred in Hesperia 3 weeks ago when struck by multiple vehicles on Main Street in the wee hours of the morning. There have been 2 pedestrian fatalities in Apple Valley since the first of this year. This past week, a 39-year-old Spring Valley Lake resident was killed when struck by a 53-year-old woman who was arrested for driving under the influence. In anticipation of St. Patrick's Day, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department has announced additional DUI patrols will be out in force this weekend in a number of communities. Extra deputies will be on patrol throughout Apple Valley on Sunday, St. Patrick's Day, from 4 in the afternoon to midnight to identify and arrest drivers under the influence of alcohol or drugs. St. Patrick's Day tends to be one of the deadliest days of the year on U.S. roads. According to National Highway Traffic Safety Administration statistics, fatal crashes involving alcohol are 16% more common during the St. Patrick's Day holiday than the rest of March. Motorists are advised impaired driving is not just from alcohol. Some prescription medications and over-the-counter drugs may interfere with driving, and motorists are warned to always follow directions for use and read warning labels about driving. While medicinal and recreational marijuana are legal, driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal. Drivers caught driving impaired and charged with a first-time DUI face an average of over $13,000 in fines and penalties, as well as having their license suspended. A growing number of Victor Valley High School alumni are hopping mad over an alleged move underway to replace the school's original and traditional Jack the Jackrabbit mascot. Disgruntled alumni have responded to claims the principal and head football coach are responsible for the change to a mascot copying that of South Dakota State University. Chris Casuno, who became principal a year ago, repudiates accusations that he is instigating the change. In a social media message, however, he stated, "We are researching the different logo variants used by VVHS throughout the decades and look forward to sharing this research and the evolution of the Jackrabbit logo with you very soon." Robert Kistner, who became Jackrabbits football coach 2 years ago, has voiced support for changing the mascot. Adamant opposition to any variant or change is led by a social media group of VVHS alumni under the heading of Once a Jackrabbit, Always a Jackrabbit, which is asking students and graduates to contact Victor Valley Union High School District officials with their concerns. A Keep Jack online petition is circulating to stop the new VVHS principal and the majority of the coaches from adopting this knockoff copycat jackrabbit as the school mascot. They claim that all but 2 Victor Valley High School sports teams are now using the new jackrabbit mascot, wrestling and soccer the exceptions. Terry Kurtz Online was brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville. Check out Down Home Grill's money-saving, inflation relief menu. Call 760-241-4663 for delivery, drive-through, pickup, or to order ahead for dine-in at Down Home Grill, corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road in Victorville. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers. Bid fast and last. Liquidation of government entities, vehicles, firearms, estates, antiques, fine jewelry, coins, and more. Bid online at bidfastandlast.com.
Ready to kick tires, start fires, kick ass, take names, and rock and roll.
Valu Quality Truck Bodies. Family owned and operated locally since 1954. Valu manufactures state-of-the-art truck bodies for the construction industry nationwide. Valu Quality Truck Bodies, proudly showcasing teams, athletes, and youth-oriented activities. The Bradco Companies. Joseph W. Brady's Bradco Companies. Bradco, leading efforts to improve the quality of life and standard of living for all residents throughout our high desert region.
Serious legal problems? Don't go alone. The other guys have attorneys just waiting to blow you away. Contact Iwanzak. Accidental death? Injured on the job? Contact Iwanzak. Law firm. Trial lawyers for serious problems.
Silverwood. The developers of the Silverwood Master Planned Community support the events, youth activities, and programs of our high desert Mojave River Valley communities. We Got 'em Tees, your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery designs. We Got 'em, official CIF-sanctioned Chanel patches for varsity jackets. We Got 'em Tees since 1984. 2 locations, Apple Valley and Upland. Oh yeah, We Got 'em Tees. And by the Holiday Inn in Victorville. The Holiday Inn, conference and convention center for the high desert, and favored destination for travelers and visitors to the Victor Valley. The following is a compilation of Joseph W. Brady interviews addressing the infrastructure crisis in the high desert region, the Mojave River Valley.
So Terry, let me take you back 3 or 4 Mondays. So this video is being done for a couple people, and we'll share it with others. But the 3 primary people that we're going to send this to is Senator Scott Wilkes. Senator, Happy New Year to you and your family. My good friend Assemblyman Tom Lackey. So Tom oversees the assembly district that I live in, and our new assembly member from the Palmdale area, who he picks up Palmdale, Little Rock, Lake Los Angeles, Sun Village, and he picks up part of Adelanto and Victorville, and that's Assemblyman Juan Carrillo. So he's with the 39th district, and I want to welcome him. We have a problem out here in the high desert region, Mojave River Valley, and I don't think that the issue is any different in Assemblyman Carrillo's area. So to kind of go back in time, I moved from Santa Barbara, California on Friday, May 13th, 1988, and I moved here at 2:45 in the afternoon. And part of the reason I moved here at 31 years old was water was a controlling deal in Santa Barbara, and quite candidly, I couldn't make a living. So a report came out that was dated in 1989, and it was the then, it was called the Phase 2 Final Report, Victor Valley Infrastructure Enhancement Program. And it was commissioned by John Joyner, who was the chairman of the San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors and was the first district supervisor. So he went through and put this report together, and at the time it said that it was like 1.2 billion or 1.3 billion in infrastructure. This is in 1989. So that was parks, water, sewer, roads and things like that, libraries and things like that. Well, so we saw what happened with George Air Force Base. That closed, and that stopped any money from being spent really between 1990 and about 1999. And then we went through this great expansion when our state government still had redevelopment agencies, so there was tax increment coming, and the cities could use some of the tax increment for projects that they felt on infrastructure. And then Governor Jerry Brown took that $5 billion away. So we've got a great problem here, and I'm asking the 3 of you to strongly consider a date, sometime, let's say September, October, could be in early November, sometime prior to the end of the second week, where the 3 of you help sponsor, and I'll help work with you, and I'll even bring it up to the Board of Trustees tonight, probably at our April 11th Board of Trustees meeting, that maybe the college hosts a lunch, and the lunch would be really brought to you by, okay, led by State Senator Wilk, State Assemblyman Carrillo, and Lackey. Why? I'll tell you candidly why. We have no leadership out here. I know everybody that's an elected official. They know me, and they know I call it the way it is. If they like it, great. If they don't, they don't. I'm not worried at 66 years old, having been out here for 35 years. We've almost done $1 billion in commercial real estate. We've brought in a fair amount of income and fed a lot of families. I'm deeply concerned that we have 3 great projects right now, 2 actually. The third one, that infrastructure will take care of itself, that we are not prepared for this. So we talk about we want growth out here, we welcome growth out here. We have five very pro-growth cities. We have 5 pro-growth councils, the majority of them. We have a council member here and there that's not, but we are not prepared. So what's the deal? We have hopefully the Bright Line speed train that will hopefully be funded this year in 2023. And that's anywhere from a 4 to 5 year project. It's anywhere from an $8 to $10 billion project. And it's anywhere from creating 30 to 40,000 construction jobs. My question to the 3 of you, where are those people going to live? Okay, so in our portion of the high desert here, I can tell you that on single family rentals, the vacancy rate is probably less than 1%. And the landlords are doing really well. If you go into the multifamily market, you take a look, it's about 1% as well. So just Bright Line alone, what's that going to do? Well, then we have another positive development with Burlington Northern Santa Fe coming into Barstow. So they have purchased 4,000 to 4,500 acres of the inner port that they're going to build. They're building it between Linwood Road and Hinckley Road, right off of Route 66, Main Street, whatever you want to call it, National Trails Highway. And that is going to create 22,000 jobs. Those are 22,000 permanent jobs. And they're going to be good jobs. Question is, where are these people going to live? So our roads are not ready. Our sewer lines are not ready. Our water lines are not ready. Our parks are not ready. And as a society on out here, if we want to raise the bar for people, how are we going to do it if we don't have the infrastructure? So Terry remembers, and if you like, just email me, and Terry will pull the first the first video we did. So look how thick this infrastructure report is, and I can tell you this thing weighs at least 10 plus pounds. So when I recorded this segment, a segment very similar to this, back probably about 3 months ago, I challenged our 5 city managers. I sent this video to 5 city managers. And I asked Nils Benson, I asked Keith Metzler, I asked Jesse Flores, I asked Doug Robertson, and I asked Willie Hopkins, who would like this binder to borrow to take a look at infrastructure? And the only one that responded was Keith Metzler, okay? And I know them all. Now, I'm not pointing fingers, but when I say to you we are divided, it's not a question this is Joseph Brady's idea. This is our problem. So I'm sitting here today with Terry Kurtz and his son Robert. Robert is a lot younger than I am. He's less than half my age, and he's going to have to deal with this. How are people going to get down Bear Valley Road? I mean, we don't have the freeway system that we once envisioned. We don't have the high desert corridor that we talked about. At one time, many years ago, I remember there's a loop system that took 138 around, and then it would wrap around. It would be kind of like on a miniature scale what they've done over in Vegas. They've done a great job over in Vegas. They've done really a great job down there in Phoenix. So, many of you know, or you don't know, I'm trying to build a custom home in Prescott, Arizona. And so when you're driving around these cities, you take a look and say, wow, they really prepared themselves. So why don't we prepare ourselves? So let me cut to the chase. We will help you identify through your staffs. We obviously know we have 5 city councils. We have 5 planning commissioners in each one. We have the Mojave Water Agency, I think the best run water agency around. Assemblyman Tom and Assemblyman Juan, I hate to tell you, but I think that we're running a whole lot better than AVEK, which is the Antelope Valley East Kern, which is a good group. We have the Mojave Desert Air Quality Management District. They run both areas. We have Victor Valley Community College, okay, I think would help facilitate this lunch. We have a great chef out there. I would suggest that, we invite the top, 10 civil engineers and architects and commercial brokers and industrial contractors and residential contractors, and really have a discussion amongst the cities and the different municipalities on what are we going to do? This is not going to magically appear. And I think that you're all looking, going, wow, yeah, I think, and it's not like we can wake up tomorrow and hope that it's here. I think we owe it to our residents. I think we owe it to the residents that are here today. I think that whether they're going to benefit from this infrastructure, but I think we need to benefit the kids that are out here or your great grandkids, that we give them some kind of an opportunity and we really sit down and figure out how we're going to do this. So we understand how CEQA works, and that would be a delay. I think that between the three of you working together in tandem, hopefully maybe you could get the governor's office behind this. We're going to need some serious money here. My guess today, to take care of the infrastructure work that we're going to need here in the high desert region, including Barstow, and that's roads and water, flood control, parks, libraries, things like that. You could probably easily chew through $3 billion. What is $3 billion anymore? I mean, they were throwing $1 trillion here and $1 trillion around during COVID like it was nothing, and look what it did. It caused a recession. But Terry, one of the things I get is I get the Phoenix Business Journal, and here's just it's a weekly, and it's great. And there's billions of dollars going to Phoenix, expanding Arizona infrastructure grants. So they've got it. I've got an entire file. I mean, this thick on infrastructure. I mean, Biden's talked about it, Trump talked about it. Here's banking on infrastructure. This is in Washington Examiner. Pair of bipartisan House members pushed for a privately funded entity to finance projects. There's a point where we need to come together, and I think the three of you can help us do that. Well, I'm hoping that the three of you will agree. I'm willing to sit down with the college and help coordinate this. I'm willing to help identify. We know who the shakers and movers are on up here, and there are a couple shakers and movers up here that I may not personally like, but they are leaders within the region. I think that they would need to be there. So the major categories, again, I've mentioned. So give it some thought. As they say, like emails, videos are around for a long time too. So I look forward to hearing from each one of you. My cell number, I'm going to have Terry posted on there, but if you need it, 760-954-4567. I start early. I go to bed early. At night. I'm deeply concerned about this. I think this is probably one of those issues that bothers me the most. I'm going to challenge the three of you guys, the three of you legislators and elected officials, to challenge the Valley to this meeting. And I don't think we dance around. I think we pick a date that the three of you guys can do it, and we do it. Because otherwise, there's going to be somebody that says, oh, I don't want to do that, or, oh, blah, blah, blah. This is not, again, about me, and it's not about the three of you. It's about we, and it's about this Valley. So I want to close and just thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I look forward to hearing from you in the very near future.
Joseph W. Brady introduces us to a very important book.
Terry, I have held this book, believe it or not, on my rear credenza on my desk for the last 25 years. What is this book and what does it mean? This is a really important book. People are going to hear me do some writings about it. I love to read. I like to educate. So back in 2019, I decided to come in on a weekend, turn on the dictaphone, kind of go through, take a look. So at the end of the day, in 1989, John Joyner was our chairman of the Board of Supervisors, and he was our supervisor for the first district. The next one was Marcia Tarosi, okay? And they did this report to talk about the fast-growing Victor Valley and what it was going to need in the way of infrastructure, okay? Between 1988 and 1992, they were believing that we needed $377 million. Between 1993 and 2010, $822 million, and total by 2010 of $1.2 billion. Now, what does that represent? That was water, sewage, drainage, roads, schools, parks, fire, police, and libraries. Okay, I can tell you this: we only hit a portion of this. So the committee that was a part of this, I mean, this is back in the day, Terry, when I came here. And I mean, Joe Watson was around, and Don Brown had Mastercraft Homes, and Roy Vance, and I mean, it was a vibrant place. It was small. We had 125,000 people. We got 500,000 a day. And if people don't like the traffic on Bear Valley Road or Highway 18 or Main Street, let me tell you, it's only going to get worse because development's coming here, whether we like it or not. I mean, there's just 1 million square foot distribution center approved on Ottawa near Asbury Road in a great location with the only rail spur left in the high desert. I think that every council person should see this on up here. I think that every planning commissioner should see this. We're going to have great growth up here, and unless we address the issues that we're addressing here, Terry, we're going to run into a problem that the reports here, if your city wants me to deliver it and they want to make 5 or 10 copies, they can. This is really, I've never seen one since. And I'll tell you what's funny, I've never heard a supervisor, even including our current supervisor, Paul Cook, ever talk about it. Because it's not important, okay? I don't think that he thinks it's important. I don't think his staff thinks it's important. You know, I don't even know if Don Rowe knows about this or even thinks it's important. But this is the high desert, and this is where the growth is going to go. And if we are, we're going to need to have that infrastructure. And lastly, all of our state officials, Tom Lackey's our new assemblyman, just a great guy. I've known him for a long time. I think he's going to be a great assemblyman. Scott Wilkes, Scott, I know you're passionate. He started his career in the community college system. Jay Obernolte, you know, I just think is the greatest congressman that we're going to have, although, you know, Jerry Lewis was good. He brought a lot of money back when he was on the appropriations side. And hopefully Don Rowe, and maybe we'll get a call from Paul Cook personally and say, what can I do to kind of lead the charge of this? So, Terry, I just want to say, I think this is really important, and I finally brought it out, and hopefully people will understand why I think it's important. We can't keep kicking this can down the road anymore. So, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you have a great day, and God bless America.
Joseph W. Brady, how do you respond to the glass half full or glass half empty state of our high desert Mojave River Valley economically?
Terry, what I find, we have such a big area. Let's talk about the 5 things we think are important. Silverwood is a real project in southeast Hesperia. It's absolutely the finest piece of property for a residential community, and it couldn't be better developed by not only John O'Haney and his partners at Terra Verde, but the equity money that was brought in by Ray Huerta. So it's going to be a community on steroids. It's something I think everybody should take a look at. They broke ground in February of 2022. They have picked the 5 national builders. They'll be announced sometime in the next couple of months. I think one of them is going to be a game changer as far as the name goes. They are prepping 2,000 lots. They've moved 10 million cubic yards of dirt. They have 9,633 acres. They have 15,663 lots. They believe it's a 30-year project. I believe it's going to be closer to a 25, maybe a 23-year project. And it's just in a great location. You add that project right there with the widening of Ranchero and the planning that the city of Hesperia did with San Bernardino County Transportation Commission, which I should remind everybody, the chairman of that right now is Art Bishop, and he's a resident of the high desert, and he's also involved in Apple Valley. They're spending $52 million to widen that, plus the amount that DMB and Terra Verde and Silverwood have to widen their portion. They go back from really Santa Fe back to I Avenue. So you've got that right there. You look at the 13 million feet of industrial property that is in the entitlement in the city of Hesperia right now. There's nearly 20 million of industrial space in the entitlement stage in the city of Atlanta. The marijuana market did really well. We believe that that's kind of flattened out, but there's a couple million feet, almost 3 million feet out there that's done very well, and there's a lot of opportunities. Then if you look just to the north, you've got Southern California Logistics Airport. All those buildings at Dougal-Egan and Anita Tuckerman, many of you remember Anita Tuckerman developed. Those were sold to Ken Shear. Ken is the developer with Mark Milikovich at Covington that's developing the properties down there along I-15 and 395. They bought Dougal-Egan's portfolio of 3.4 million feet and spent $270 million in cash. So we have a lot of new money coming in here. Then you take the control of Southern California Logistics Airport and look at the 3,000 jobs that they've done, the balancing entitlement they have between 45 million and 50 million square feet, and it's now controlled by Prologis. And most people, Terry and Robert, I find they haven't been out to SCLA. I encourage everybody watching this, drive on at Derrick Expressway, take D Street, Derrick Expressway, turn left, get to Phantom West, turn right, and you go on in. You got Mars Bars, Plastipac, Boeing, ComAv. You've got Rubbermaid Newell. You've got The Mars people, they just opened up a pet plant. I mean, the pet food. You've got Iron Mountain that's in the storage business. You've got Amazon that's out there. And more importantly, you've got Kim Schneider, who's the president of Western Division, and Tyson Chaves that run that project. It is listed by CBRE. And they are the largest industrial developer in the world. In the world. They have 1.2 billion square feet of property around in 19 countries, and a Rolodex of 6,000. That's pretty big. You go out to the east on out there in the town of Apple Valley. We all know what a great job they've done. They got some exciting things coming in. That north side of town out there, out where the Walmart distribution center is. Most people don't know that's the busiest Walmart distribution center in the country. You got the 1.3 million square foot Big Lots that's right next door. There's 20 million feet of industrial space being planned in that market out there, led again by Ken Shear and Mark Milikovich of Covington. And then you go further north of that out to Barstow, and while Barstow's population has remained rather stagnant for the last 60 years, well, they're going to be welcoming a portion of 22,000 people that Burlington Northern Santa Fe, which is a Berkshire Hathaway company, announced on October 1st, 2022, is coming to Barstow. Burlington Northern has bought over 4,300 of the 4,500 acres that they have told the city. They've told the city that it's a $1.5 billion initial investment. It's a whole lot more than that. They're going to create 22,000 jobs directly and indirectly within the BNSF system. So if you listen to what they say, we've calculated through conversations we had. I mean, we were very proud that we recently represented Lewis Operating, Lewis Retail, on an exclusive negotiating agreement on a very large piece of property in Barstow with the city of Barstow. And based on the work that we have done and the analysis that we've seen, we believe that there's about 8,000 jobs that are going to go directly into Barstow, and the balance are going to be a part of the system. At the end of the day, what is that going to do? It's going to create a housing boom on out here. It's going to create a rental boom on out here. I've done more tours in the last 4 months due to the fact that we need more apartments on out here. We need more housing on out here. So is a glass half full, more than half full? And to close, I think that the thing that I think is a game changer, and I think that there's a lot of people in Apple Valley that are very proud. Our bishop should be very proud. He's been very much behind this. Been a lot of people behind this speed train. This goes back 34 years. It was called the maglev train. We have every article. We have all the files on maglev. And after Brightline finally breaks ground, we're probably going to do a big story on that. But that's a $10 to $12 billion project. I absolutely believe it's going to get funded. I take my hat off to Ray Wolf down at San Bernardino County Transportation and Art as this year's chairman and their board. All the permits are done. They're going down the center of the freeway. I think it's a game changer for those people that are driving down that Cajon Pass all the time, or they're on Facebook with the pain in the pass. That's going to open up after 4 years, and I think it's going to allow people to move up here and to live up here and to live affordably up here, because you can't live down affordably in Southern California. So at the end of the day, I have a lot of gas left in this tank at 67 years old, and I plan on using it because this is a great place to live, work, and play. And I love the high desert, and I love the Victor Valley, and I love the Mojave River Valley as well. Thank you, and God bless America.
Your help is being sought to clear our San Bernardino County shelters by adopting, not shopping. If you are looking for a new four-legged friend, the First District is home to several animal shelters with dogs and cats in need of loving homes. The Board of Supervisors recently approved funding toward reduced pet adoption fees at the Big Bear and Devore animal shelters through June of 2024. Cats are now $10 and dogs are $20. This includes spaying, neutering, microchip, and most vaccines. Other local shelters include the Hesperia Animal Shelter on Santa Fe Avenue and the Apple Valley Animal Shelter on Powhatan Road. The Apple Valley Animal Shelter Rescue Team regularly posts photos of animals ready for adoption. For more information, please call 760-240-7555. Terry Kurtz here, throwing out an invitation for you to catch up with High Desert Sports activities. Your High Desert Sports Report, showing 3 times every day on Victor Valley TV. 7 and 11 every morning, 4 every afternoon. Your half-hour High Desert Sports Report, the area's only video action highlights coverage of high school athletes, teams, and sports programs, Victor Valley College Rams, and Barstow College Vikings athletic events, including flashbacks to this date in High Desert sports and entertainment history. We hope you'll join us right here on Victor Valley TV. That's a wrap on this edition of Terry Kurtz Online. On behalf of Victor Valley Television Productions, thank you for watching. We hope to see you again next time around.